Better late than never, these are my 2023 makeup favorites. Now we have a lot of products to talk about, so I've decided to just put them on my face and then talk about them rather than film all of the application, because otherwise it would be just such a long video. So I've already got the products on and I'm gonna talk you through them. So my first absolute favorite of the year, one of my most used products, is this from Heimish. It is the Artless Glow Base. Now this is an SPF, but it is also a makeup product in my opinion because it acts as a primer and it has pigment in it. It has a pearl pigment in it, so it gives you a very glowy, just pearlized, like, but not sparkly finish that looks beautiful on its own on the skin. It's not so over the top that you can't just wear this and then go about your day, but it also just looks so beautiful under makeup. It really absorbs into the skin. It's hydrating, but it's not greasy. It doesn't sit on top of the skin, so it doesn't interfere with makeup, and it just works so well as a primer whilst giving you all of that protection from the sun that you need. Now I don't actually have a favourite foundation of the year because I don't wear foundation very often. I just wear foundation for special occasions, and I'm still using up my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, which was my all-time favourite, which was discontinued, and I haven't found another one to replace it yet. So I'm just going to talk about concealer. Today I have the NYX Bear With Me concealer, a little bit blended all over my face. I love this all over the face, almost as a foundation. That's not what I normally do because I normally just put concealer under my eyes and then do the rest of my makeup and go about my day. But sometimes I do like to wear this all over the face. Just one pump will spread all over the face and give you a beautiful amount of coverage. I have the shade Light, and what I love about this is that it's just a perfect formula for using both under the eyes and on the face. It's pigmented, it's blendable, it's creamy but not too greasy, it is hydrating but it lasts well and doesn't make me oily. It's just the perfect concealer, and I also love that it comes in a pump. So that's what I have, just a little bit sort of blended over my entire face today, plus extra under the eyes. I've also really been enjoying the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I don't have any on today because I didn't need any on top of the NYX, but I have the shade Fair Beige, and I also really love this. It's such a good, affordable product. Moving on to our other cream like face products, ones with pigment in, ones with colour in this time. My voice is going. I've barely started the video, my voice can't go yet. So my most loved blush of the year is a more recent discovery. I bought it in the later half of the year, and this is the Pat McGrath Divine Blush Legendary Glow Colour Balm, and I have the shade Divine Rose, which is just like a beautiful everyday shade. And what I love about this is that it is so blendable and it's not overly pigmented. So I can swipe this directly onto the face and easily blend it out with my fingers, add a little extra, blend it. It blends beautifully without needing to use any tools. I'm kind of lazy. I don't like washing brushes and sponges. So if I can take a product and use it with just my hands, I absolutely will, particularly for my everyday makeup. Then I don't have to wash tools super often. I use more like brushes and stuff for like special occasions stuff, but for an everyday I just want to use my hands. That's not everyone's preference, I'm aware, but this this is such a beautiful formula. It gives like a glossy glow but without being super greasy. It doesn't slip around, it doesn't feel over the top balmy, it's just a little bit balmy. It gives you that little bit of like natural glow. Like, I'm wearing highlighter today because I have highlighter favorites to share with you, but often I will just use this and no highlighter because it gives such a beautiful glossy glow to the cheek just by itself. And I love it. I also have the Rare Beauty, the Dewy blushes, and they are really nice, but I do think they are too pigmented. They're impractical. I like easy products. I like products where you can't really make a mistake. I think those are the best makeup products where you can just whack them on and you're not worrying. And the Rare Beauty ones are just so pigmented that you have to be so careful with the application, and it's so easy to get too much product. And so for me, they just don't make it into sort of the top tier of blushes, even though the shades are really beautiful. What else? Yes, my favourite cream highlight is still the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. Hate the packaging, So messy, but such a good highlight. Again, you can blend it with your fingers. I love the shade, I love the undertone, because I'm pale, but I don't like a pink highlight. And often highlights that are designed for paler people have that more pink colour, and I'm not a fan of that. I want a more neutral, very pale gold, and that's what I get with this. I just wish they would put it in different packaging, but we can't have everything. Cream bronzer and cream contour. So for cream bronzer, the Nars Laguna bronzing cream. This is Laguna 1, also sometimes called Laguna Light. This is beautiful if you are pale. It's also a super lovely, lovely formula. Super blendable, dries down to a sort of matte-ish finish, but just never goes patchy. Always plays nicely with all of the other products I have on my face. Really worth the investment. And then I have the Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick. This is toasted. I don't contour every day. Like, I'm not a big contouring person because I have quite an angular face. So for every day, I don't use contour, but I do use contour when I'm going to be in photographs, so for special occasions. And this has a super nice undertone in that it's cool, so it suits you if you have paler skin, but it's not grey, because some contours are just too grey. I got the e.l.f., like the ones that they have like this kind of packaging, and I got, I think, the lightest shade of the contour, and it's just straight up grey. It's like too grey. This toasted colour is super nice colour, and again, it's blendable, pigmented enough, but not so pigmented that you can't draw directly on the face. So that's super nice about that as well. It makes it very easy. And with this, I can also just put a little bit under my cheekbone, and I can smudge it with my finger if I don't want to use a brush. So wins for me. So that was all of our cream-based products, I think. Yes, it was. So moving into our powders. I have two setting powders that I love. This is the ByTerry Hyaluronic Hydra-Powder. This is the loose one. This is a great powder. However, it does give flashback if you put too much on, so I don't use this when I'm going to be in photographs for special occasions. I actually noticed it gave flashback because I used it in YouTube videos and it was flashing back with my ring light, and I was like, what's going on? Why do I have this like dusty white patch? And I realized it was the powder. But this is a super nice powder for every day if you're not going to be in any kind of flash photography. And then if I am going to be in photographs, or I just want to make sure I don't have any flashback, this is the No. 7 Flawless Finishing Pressed Powder in Fair. I have a whole video dedicated to this, comparing it to the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. I actually prefer this one to the Charlotte Tilbury, and it's also cheaper. And this is the one I have on today, by the way, not the ByTerry, just in the centre of my face, a little bit between my eyebrows, on my chin. It gives a very natural set. It still looks like skin. It's not overly matte, but the makeup doesn't move around. It's honestly just a really lovely powder. Powder blush. Now this is like a raid from the grave. Like, this is super old-fashioned, but I've just gotten so back into it recently. This is the Bourjois like little potted blush. This is shade 48, Cendre de Rose Brune. And this is often cited as the original powder blush. This stuff has been around for so long. Like, my grandma used this, you know, like, it's one of those, but it's such a beautiful, just like slightly cool toned pink, very flattering. It's quite hard. That's what I would say. It's quite hard. It's not that pigmented. You have to kind of dig your brush in there a little bit to get the pigment, get the product out. But it's just, it smells like old, kind of like old lady smell, you know what I mean? Like really old fashioned cosmetic smell. But I love the color of this. It's beautiful. And I also just, I love the little packaging. I think it's cute. It's been around a long time, and I just kind of love the history of it as well. Powder, bronzer, oh, it's all the way over here. Clinique. I think Clinique makes some really nice makeup products. I think they're kind of underrated. They make some super nice lipsticks. And this is the, upside down, True Bronzer Pressed Powder Bronzer in the shade 02 Sunkissed. It does have little kind of micro glitters in, but it doesn't really show up glittery on the face. And I find this is a really nice, again, tone for my pale skin. I struggle with finding bronzers that look nice, and this is just lovely. It also blends, it's very smooth. It's just a super nice product, and I don't hear Clinique talked about very much unless you're talking about like the viral lip thing, but it's honestly a really nice bronzer. Contour, I've mentioned this so many times. This is so old. This is the Kevyn the Sculpting powder in light. I've got other powder contours, but none of them have come close to this one. This is the best powder contour for fair skin, in my opinion. You don't need very much. It will last you forever. I've had this for so long. I sound like a broken record. Like, I feel like every time I talk about my favorites, it's just the same contour powder, but that's because it's genuinely good. And highlight, again, no changes. The Laura Mercier, the Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight 01. I've had this for so long and I still have so much product left. Like, this thing is massive. I've talked about this before, it's been in previous yearly favorites, but you know, I don't want to give you a favorite just because it's new or it's different or I happen to have bought it this year rather than a previous year. Like, this is genuinely the products I loved most this year, regardless of whether I bought them this year. These are the ones I think are the absolute best. And I don't want to tell you about a product that I don't think is as good just because I bought it more recently, you know? So I stick by this one. I think it's amazing. It also has that like pale gold undertone to it that if you don't want a pink highlight but you're fair, it's great. It's super smooth. You can use it quite subtly, but you can also build it up to be glowy, but it never looks glittery. It never looks chunky. It's perfect. And I have other highlighters and I like them and I use them, but this is still the number one. So I think we did all of our face products. I guess we will move on to eyes. So today I have on my eyes 2 eyeshadow sticks from Kiko Milano, and for me it was the year of cream and liquid eyeshadow. And this is partly again because I'm lazy and I don't like cleaning tools. So what I love about these is I can just scribble them on and blend them with my finger. Same with a cream eyeshadow, you can blend it with your finger, not have to use any brushes, not have to wash anything. The other thing I like about cream and liquid eyeshadows is that you don't have to worry about fallout. So if you're going for something with glitter or something that's a lot more pigmented, a much darker shade, you're a lot safer using a cream or liquid formula than using a powder if you're like me and you like to do your base makeup first. So these are the 2 shades I have on right now. I have number 36, which is a sort of paler pearly pink on the inner half of the eyelid. And then I have number 12, which is a darker, more slightly reddish toned pink on the outer half of my eyes and also some underneath. So Kiko make so many shades. If you go look at their eyeshadows, go look at their lipsticks, go look at their nail polish, they have such a big range of colours, which is amazing. So the Kiko ones I really like. I also really love the Beauty Pie ones that I have, and also the ByTerry. Expensive, but really good. And the thing that all of these have in common, which is why I like them, is that they're blendable, but then they dry down and then they don't move. That's what you want with a cream eyeshadow stick. You want to have enough time to blend it, but then once it's blended and you're done with it, you want it to dry and then not be still like smudgy and creamy and moving all over the place, particularly if you're going to use a darker colour. So I've loved all of these eyeshadow sticks this year. Just these are my everyday go-to because they're so quick, so easy. You can just, yeah, like I say, not use any tools. Everything's rolling around on the table. Cream eyeshadows. So my favourite liquid eyeshadows. My favourite liquid eyeshadows of the year are from Eldridge. So this is my favourite one that I have. This is Daphne. This is a sort of greenish gold, and it's, I mean, I just dyed my hair pink, so I'm probably not going to use this as much now, but when I had my dark hair, this was just a super nice colour on me with that like really dark brown hair and dark brown eyes. A green tone, just, it looks super good with, you know, dark brown eyes. I also have Titania, which is a slightly greenish toned bronze, and I have Lisa or Liza, however you want to say it, which is this kind of metallic grey, which is great for sort of building up a smoky eye without any risk of, you know, grey, black, whatever eyeshadows falling all over your face. So love those. I want to get more shades of them, but they are kind of expensive, so I'm just waiting for a bit. Eyeliner. So I have a couple of eyeliners on today, and they are the McQueen eyeliners. Now, if you've not heard of McQueen, you can go get it on YesStyle, and these are super creamy, blendable, but waterproof liners, and they're really cheap. I have like 7 different colours. So I have on today a little on the upper lash line, one that I bought very recently, this kind of metallic pink toned colour. This is shade 9. And then I also have on my lower waterline, I have this one, which is shade 8, which is a like metallic-y bronze colour. These are just a staple for me. I have my tiny black one as like, I just bought a new black one because this is drying out a little bit now. But these are amazing, like seriously, I could not recommend them highly enough. I've bought them for my friends. They're just super, super great gel eyeliners. I also, my other one for this year, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeliner. And what's special about this is the colour, which doesn't pick up that well, to be honest, on the camera. It looks kind of brown, but it's actually a very subtle sort of burgundy colour, which again, if you have brown eyes, this is just a super beautiful colour with brown eyes, and it's just there's something special about the colour. I haven't found this exact colour in another line of eyeliners. I'm sure there will be a dupe out there, but I haven't found it yet. So I'm willing to kind of pay the price for it. Like it's luxury, it's an expensive eyeliner, like especially compared to like the McQueen ones are so cheap. This is so much more expensive, but the colour is just beautiful. So those are my favourite eyeliners of the year. Mascara. The mascara I'm wearing right now, if I can see where I put it, it rolled away. This is the number 7 Extreme Length Waterproof in Brown Black. I've been loving a brown mascara recently, just something a little bit more subtle. This has one of those plasticized ones that really combs through, separates and lengthens your lashes. It doesn't give a lot of volume, but if you're using a brown mascara, it's probably because you want a more subtle look, so you're not going to be looking for something super thickening. It can be difficult to find brown mascaras in waterproof because often brands only make a waterproof version of their black mascara. But if you're looking for brown waterproof mascara, go to number 7. They make their waterproof mascaras in brown. For my black mascaras, you can get these. There's not many changes. This is the Kiko Maxi Mod. Don't get the waterproof one, get the original one. The waterproof one isn't good. The original one is amazing. It basically gives you like false eyelash effect. Eyelashes also has that kind of plasticized brush with the really short bristles. Lower lash line, I've been using this for years. I don't use lower lash mascara as much these days now that I'm older, but this is the Heimish Stylism Smudge Stop. And if I am going to do lower lash mascara, I always use this. It may seem a bit extra to have a separate mascara just for your lower lashes, but I struggle a lot with transfer. I have very long lashes, and whenever I smile, they like touch all of my face. So I need a good like non-smudging waterproof mascara, and this one is really, really good. And if you do like get a little bit on your face, like for me when I apply lower lash mascara, sometimes I get a few dots on my face because my lower lashes are really long and they just touch my face and it's not dry yet. It scrapes off really easily. Like, I mean, all mascara, once it's dry, you can kind of take a spoolie and scrape it off a little bit, but this for some reason flakes off your face super easily if you do get it on your face, so that's really nice. And then for a waterproof top lash mascara, I've been using the Maybelline Sensational, Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect in waterproof. This also has a plasticized wand. I am a fan of these type of wands over a bristle wand. I personally like the plasticized one that really combs through your eyelashes, just a personal preference, but this is a really nice mascara and really gives you that kind of long fanned out like fluttery eyelash effect. Where did we get to? I guess we didn't do brows yet. We didn't do brows, and we haven't done lips. Brows. Okay, so my favorite brow product is not really a makeup product. It is the Eyelure Dye Brow. So what I tend to do now is I don't fill in my brows, I just dye my brows and then use a brow mascara for that kind of more natural look. Now, I used to think that I had incredibly sparse brows, but it just turns out that despite having very dark hair on my head, half of my eyebrows are blonde. Like, I have a lot of blonde hairs in my eyebrows that I just can't see. And when I dye my eyebrows, it's like suddenly I have twice as many brow hairs as how I thought I had, you know, like they just magically appear with the dyes. So that's what I love about dyeing my eyebrows, is that like I suddenly just have like 50% more brow than I thought I did. I usually use dark brown. There you can also get mid brown. I dyed my brows today and I actually mixed a little bit of the two together, like mostly dark brown with a little bit of mid brown in there so that it wouldn't be like too dark. Yeah, love this product. works really well, does what it says kind of on the tin. It just works. It's really good. And then for brow mascara, I don't have a favorite specific product. I have a favorite type of product, if that makes sense, and that is anything that comes in this packaging and has this type of wand. So this is one I've been using most this year, but I think it's discontinued. I can't find it anywhere anymore, and that's from a Pew. But I bought this one more recently from Espoir, I hope that's how you say it. But you can see it has the exact same type of packaging and the same type of wand. Basically, I am looking for this wand because if you have less thick, less, you know, if you want a delicate wand where you're not going to accidentally get it outside of your brows, you're not going to accidentally get it on your skin, wands like this with this type of wand are just super useful. They're so delicate, they're so easy to just comb through your brows without touching the product to your skin. So basically anything that has this wand I will buy and use. This is the one I bought recently. It's a slightly like lighter colour because my hair is dyed now, so I now have the shade. Is it even going to say on here? It might not even say. Or maybe it says in Korean because it says, yeah. I'll just link it down below. How about that? So those are my brow products. I haven't really been using a brow pencil, so I don't have one of those to share with you, but if you do want a brow pencil, the NYX Skinny Brow Pencil is still a great staple that you can just get pretty much anywhere. And lips. So I actually have on a lip dupe today I will tell you about. But first, let's talk about lip liner. My favourite lip liner is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner because it's so like useful. It can be paired with so many different lipsticks. Like if I think, oh, I'm going to do a nude lip, but I haven't really picked out a lipstick yet, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on, I'll just use this lip liner because if you want to pick a pinky nude, a peachy nude, a brownie nude, they all go well with this lip liner. It's just a really good staple to have if you want a lip liner that will pair with many lipsticks rather than having to have lots of different liners for your different lipsticks. This is, I get so much use out of it. It's, yeah, it's just a great lip liner. It's just one of those colours that's so useful. And then on my lips, I have two different lipsticks, if you can believe it, because you can't really tell that they're two different lipsticks. I have this one on the top lip. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, also in Pillow Talk, but it's not the matte lip one. It doesn't actually say on the packaging what this lipstick is called, and I can't remember, so I will link it down below. But basically it's a glossy, balmy lipstick in the Pillow Talk shade. It's semi-sheer but buildable. Now I have this one on my top lip. I just put my lips together. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to keep them separate. I already have lipstick on though, but you just have to believe me that these two are dupes, okay? This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is Kiko Milano. This is the Jelly Stylo in shade 508. And hopefully you can see here, it is basically the same colour. It also has an incredibly similar formula. Very like moisturizing, hydrating, glossy, buildable. And these two shades, let me put them on my hand so that you can see them on my hand. That's probably easier than me having them on my lips and you trying to look at how similar they are. So here they are on my hand. This is the Kiko one, this is the Charlotte Tilbury one. They are very, very, very subtly different, but barely. Like once you have them on your lips, like you honestly can't tell that there's any difference. If I was gonna say there's a slight difference, is that the Charlotte Tilbury one is very slightly cooler, just very slightly. But the Kiko one is still on the cooler side, and they do just look incredibly comparable, and this is so much cheaper. So much cheaper. So go buy the Kiko one if you've been looking at this. Don't spend the money. Go to Kiko instead. Other lip products that I've been loving, if you watch my beauty pie videos, you know I love I feel like my camera is changing the colour. Maybe it's this light is like interfering with the colour balance. But I feel like sometimes the light is more yellow and then sometimes it goes more white and I have no idea why that's happening. So Sorry if that's been happening throughout this video. I only just noticed that maybe that was happening. Anyway, back to lipsticks. The Beauty Pie Luxe Shine. This one is Bruised Berry, but I have like a bunch of different shades. These are great, also sort of glossy lipsticks. I love a glossy lip. I don't like a matte lip. I have very dry lips. And then my other favourite of the year is the Romand Juicy Lasting Tints. Now, these are like lip tints, lip stains, but they go on like a pigmented gloss. They have a glossy finish, but then when that glossy finish wears away, as glossy finishes do, you're left with a stain on your lips. Now, I have like 6 of these in different shades. They also smell. Don't fall off the table. They also smell really, really good. Like fruity in like a not overly sweet way. They smell delicious. I don't know what it is. They smell so good. So we're almost at the end. I think we only have setting spray to talk about. I think everything, it's chaos in front of me, but I think we covered all of these things. So setting spray. Now, I don't use setting spray on an everyday basis. I only use it when I really want my makeup to last, or I'm going to a special event, something like that, or I'm going somewhere where I'm going to like sweat, like I'm going to dance or something, and I need something to extra hold the makeup in there. So I still love Urban Decay All Nighter. It's a classic. It really sticks your makeup to your face. You know, it's great if you have any oily skin. I'm not particularly oily, but I just like how long lasting this is. I also like the Airbrush Flawless. This is also long lasting, but a bit less drying, a bit less matte, but also a really, really nice setting spray. But like I say, I mean, I don't use these every day. I just, yeah, I don't use them every day. But when I do use them, those are the 2 that I normally go for. I guess at last I should mention a few brushes that I really, really like, the brushes I used today. So first, I mean, they're mostly Real Techniques brushes. This is the Expert Face brush, and I have a whole bunch of these. I use them for, like today I put a bit of concealer sort of all over my face, and I use this to blend it out, or if I'm using foundation, it's also great. If you're using a cream blush that needs a brush to blend it, like the Rare Beauty dewy blushes, I usually put a dot on the back of my hand, work it into my brush, and then go onto the face because they're just so pigmented. Like I say, this Pat McGrath one, you don't need a brush. You can just swipe and fingers and you're good. But if you do need a brush, it's so hard to say for me. If you do need a brush for your blush, then this is also great. It's just a multitasking brush. I also used it today for my cream bronzer. Amazing. To blend out my cream contour today, I used this. This is also from Real Techniques. It is the Sheer Radiance Fan. I believe it's actually meant for cream highlighter, but I blend my cream highlighter with my fingers, and I just use this for my cream contour because it's a really nice shape. If you want to get like that precise, just sort of, you don't want to blend out your contour too much in this direction, you just want to blend it in this direction. Lovely shape of brush. I also have here the Tapered Cheek brush, also great for cream blush and bronzer. And then I have loads of these. These are the little tiny setting brushes. So this one I use for powder highlight, this one I use for my setting powder. You can also use these for powder contour. They're really like multitasking, amazing brushes. Real Techniques brushes in general are my default. They're really good quality. They're not overly expensive. They're very accessible. You can buy them in so many places. So I said I was going to talk through my products rather than apply them to my face because it would be faster, but this video is still like half an hour long. So I guess if I showed you application of everything, we'd probably be here for like an hour. So I hope that wasn't too long for you guys. If you're still here listening to me ramble here at the end, thank you very much, and please consider subscribing. I hope you're having an amazing start to 2024, and I will see you all next time.